So one of the biggest questions I get from people when it comes to living this lifestyle that I live is, John, what happens if I attempt this and then the market crashes right after I quit my job? And well, it's a fair question. It's actually one of the most important questions that I asked myself before I started living this type of lifestyle. In fact, it's probably one of the biggest fears that most people have when they think about financial freedom, especially in terms of living off of your investments. And it's a legitimate fear, it really is. And like right now while I'm filming this, I'm literally sitting here in Manila today. Right here, I'm here in Makati. But I'm sitting here because my goal has never really been to build the biggest portfolio that never goes down. The markets fluctuate. Your portfolio will go up and it will go down. That's just a fact of life, right? My goal has been to build a life that can survive when markets do crash. And so today I want to share with you guys and show you how I think about this idea and how I'm able to make all of this work without being rich. So first of all, right, it is definitely a legitimate concern. I understand why everybody asks this question because I asked myself the same question. I went through this same thought process, and the reality is markets will crash. They have always crashed, but they've always came back as well, right? But it's not a matter of if the market crashes, because it will happen. It's more of a matter of like when the market crashes. When that happens, what are you going to do? And basically anybody who is investing for financial freedom and planning to live this life off of your investments and things like that, you really need to be prepared for that reality that markets eventually will crash. Not just go down, but they will crash. It's happened over and over and over again. So I guess the real question is, how do you actually protect yourself when that happens, right? And I think some of the biggest mistakes people have or make or think about in terms of this is they think higher yield equals safety. And this was me at first too. When I first started doing this, I was investing in these yield max ETFs, and they were super high yields, even 100% yields, crazy stuff. And I was thinking, man, I just need like, $20,000 here and I can quit working. And it doesn't work like that. The reality is higher yields do not eliminate risk. Oftentimes they create more risk, right? So that's one big mistake. Don't assume that you're gonna buy some yield max ETF or some crap like that and you're gonna be able to quit working with $10,000 invested in some shit, right? Not the case. And another big mistake would be quitting your job and trying to live this life with absolutely zero margin. And I don't mean investing margin like in your margin in your investment account. I mean like margin for error, right? Like you can't leave your job if you're making $1,000 per month on dividends and you think I'm going to live on $1,000 per month, and you have zero money in savings, zero emergency funds, zero nothing, right? That means you have zero financial margin. And so that would be a mistake to attempt to live that life with zero financial margin, right? Without margin for error. And so that brings me to the point of my own freedom system that I basically have designed, which is basically I have several different portfolios that serve different purposes. And so the first one that I have, I call an income portfolio, right? And the main purpose of that portfolio is to generate income now, cash flow now, that I can use to pay bills, to invest in other things, like just cash flow, just like having a job, right? Having a job gives you cash flow. My income portfolio gives me cash flow. Now, my second portfolio I'll give you guys some scenery so you guys don't have to look at my stupid face. But my second portfolio is an emergency fund. You don't have to have it in a portfolio. I keep an emergency fund in a portfolio, but I also keep an emergency fund in cash. So I have several different emergency funds actually. But the emergency fund, right? The purpose of an emergency fund, it is simply just to pay bills if your income temporarily drops, right? Like like I said earlier, but when the market crashes, when your investments go down, and when your income goes down because of a market crash or serious market correction, having an emergency fund does a few things. It stops you from panic selling. You don't need to panic sell everything at a super big loss. Number two, it gives you time to actually collect your income in your income portfolio and reinvest it to buy assets at a really cheap and good price. And you can use your emergency fund during that period of time to live your life or to buy those investments at a cheap price, right? So it's basically a layer of protection. Now for me, myself, my emergency fund has 3 years of living expenses. You heard that right, 3 years, not 3 months. I know typical financial advice is to have 3 months or 6 months worth of living expenses. They used to say 3 months, have 3 years. So if something happened today and I had zero money, made zero income, zero for the next 3 years, I could support my life. And I say support my life, I mean I could live the same life I'm living right this very moment without a worry. So that buys me 3 years worth of time to fix the problem, right? 3 years is a long time to sort something out. And that's why I have 3 years. My next portfolio, which is a growth portfolio. Now, I actually have two, but you don't need two. One will do the trick, but the growth portfolio is just long-term wealth building. So you can do this in a few ways. Like number one, I prefer the Roth IRA method because you're just investing in tax-free growth. Like I'm 45 now. Some of you guys are a lot younger than me. That gives you a long time to grow your wealth tax-free. And then when you get old enough to use it, which right now the Roth IRA is like 59 and a half is when you can take the money out. When you can take that money out, your life will get better, right? You're not relying on that money to live now because you already have your income portfolio and those things to live now. So once you get that, your life gets even better, as opposed to, waiting until you retire and then you have to downsize your life. I do it the opposite way. The older I get, the better my life is going to get because of that growth portfolio that I have. And you can do it, like I said, two ways. You can do it with your Roth IRA, which is tax-free, or you can do it in a regular taxable brokerage account, which me personally, I happen to have both. I have a small growth account that is taxable, and I have a Roth IRA that is obviously tax-free. But you don't have to do both, but I would do one or the other for long-term growth. It's just future you, right? It's money for future you. And then the last thing is probably for me has been the most important thing, and that's geographic arbitrage, which is simply living somewhere where your money goes a lot further. And people have been doing this forever, right? People retire and move to some other place, retire and move to, I'm here in the Philippines, right? There's lots of retirees here. Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia. I live in China sometimes too, or most of the time I actually live in China. Sometimes I stay here in Philippines or Thailand or other places. But geographic arbitrage basically means having a lower monthly expense. It costs you very little money to live somewhere. And because of that, it has given me a lot less pressure, a lot less financial pressure, a lot less portfolio pressure. I don't have any worries because I know my cost of living is cheap. My monthly expenses are cheap. I don't have debt to pay, none of that stuff, right? And geographic arbitrage is probably the number one thing that I would attribute being able to build my wealth pretty fast, because I've lived in a cheap place for a long, long time. And so, living somewhere like this, like Manila, means I don't need as much income as I would in any U.S. city. And this is a major city. We're talking like Manila is one of the most major cities in the world, right? And I can live here for a fraction of what it costs for me to live in a crappy small town where I come from in Kentucky, a town with 30,000 people and no opportunities, and it's still double, no, more than double, probably triple or 4 times the price is what it cost me to live here in Manila or Bangkok. So it just makes sense to live in a place where your money goes a lot further. And then I guess the last part that I want to talk about is the psychology. Like when it comes to your mindset, right? Like most market crashes don't really ruin people. What ruins people is the panic. They see the market crashing and they panic sell for a massive loss. And they make bad mistakes when they feel like their wealth, their money is being threatened. And it's usually by the time you panic sell, you've already lost too much money anyway, and it just you've already taken a huge hit, and you sell to try to preserve and try not to lose even more money, right? And that's what ruins people. Selling at the bottom, the fear, having no cash, having no emergency fund, so you can withstand those market crashes and those failures and mistakes. That's what the emergency fund is for. And living paycheck to paycheck. And somebody mentioned this in another video. So I'm tired of old guys talking about whatever the cost of living and blah blah blah, this and that, blah blah blah. Look, I used to live paycheck to paycheck. I come from a small town in Kentucky with like 30,000 people, and I had no money. I actually, at one point in time, I tried to move abroad. I tried to escape, and I ended up broke and homeless, sleeping on the streets in another country. And if I was in that situation, and I was able to escape that and build a life of freedom, there's no reason why you can't. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because I'm not the smartest guy out there, man. And here comes the rain, man. It's raining. But anyway, you guys don't care about that. But I guess my point is, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that when it comes to this whole investing thing, look, I understand if you're there in America, it's hard, man. It's tough. It's very tough to get ahead. But if you're really struggling to get ahead, there's a few things that's probably holding you back. And you can't blame it on the cost of living where you are, because I've been there. When I left America, I was making $4 and some change per hour, right? And I left and ended up homeless. So you can't blame the cost of living. You can't blame all these other outside factors. A lot of it has to do with yourself, your spending habits, your living habits. Like some of these things have to change if you want to change, right? You might have to do some unconventional stuff, which is what I did, some very unconventional stuff. And that's what it took for me. So, I'm not picking on you guys. I'm just saying we need to think about money different, think about our future in a very different way. And, as I was building my own financial life, I realized I wasn't just building an investment portfolio. I was building an entire system. Like I mentioned, with the geographical arbitrage and my emergency fund accounts and long-term wealth and income accounts, like I was building a complete entire system around all of these different ways to design a life that reduced my pressure, reduced my stress, and gave me lots of flexibility in terms of, where to live and how to live and all those things. And so that's actually all that stuff, that system that I created, it actually became what I call the Freedom Blueprint. So, it's a very interesting and a different way of thinking about how to get a life of freedom without being super rich. So check that out if you're interested. But anyway, long story short, man, I can't control when the next market crash happens. Nobody can. I can't predict it. What I can control is how prepared I am for when it does happen, because it is going to happen, believe me, and you have to be prepared for that. So for me, financial freedom has never been about building the biggest portfolio possible. It's been about building enough margin, enough financial margin that a bad year, a market crash, something like that isn't going to send me back into a life that I don't want. So if any of that stuff resonates with you, hit the subscribe button. Lots of videos about this stuff. It's all free here on this channel. And then I also have some links below that may help you out as well. Some of that stuff down there is free too. And be sure and check that out. The Freedom Blueprint is actually a complete framework I use myself for the past years to actually build this life. So all that stuff's down there. And anyway, I'm about to go to BGC and enjoy a nice dinner with a beautiful lady. And then I'm gonna come back and go for a swim. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys soon on the next video. Y'all take care.